All right, so we're here. Elon Musk, in his latest Twitter rant, he's known to go on these crazy rants where he drops a bunch of sensitive jokes. People take it the wrong way. Even his Tesla stock ends up dropping. So I want to go ahead and pass it to you, Franco. Why don't you go ahead and tell us some of these tweets and what exactly they were about from Elon Musk?
Yeah, so I was able to, he said he has since deleted that tweet that he put up, that insensitive tweet. But this article by Telesur goes into detail about what happened. So the title of the article here says, Elon Musk confesses to lithium coup in Bolivia. The Bolivian, because it was highly spectated that the reason for why the U.S. intervened into Bolivia's election is because of their abundance in lithium. It's Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina that have a lot of lithium. And lithium is what's used to power electric car batteries. But there was no direct confession by anybody saying that this is the reason for why we went in. It just was highly suggested that it was because right after the coup, Tesla stocks shot up. So the title says that the billionaire CEO of Tesla and lithium exploiting capitalist has admitted his role in the November coup. The CEO of the US-based Tesla car manufacturer has admitted to involvement in what President Morales, who's the socialist president of Bolivia, who democratically won, but he got taken out because of US intervention, has referred to as a lithium coup. We will coup whoever we want. Deal with it, is what Elon Musk said to an accusation on Twitter that the US government organized a coup against President Evo Morales so that Musk could obtain Bolivia's lithium. Foreign plunder of Bolivia's lithium in a country with the world's largest known reserves is widely believed to be among the main motives behind the November 10th, 2019 coup. Lithium, a critical component of the batteries used in Tesla's vehicles, is set to become one of the world's most important natural resources as manufacturers seek to obtain it for use in batteries in electric cars, computers, and industrial equipment. And just to let you, Pedro and Brooks, know, fossil fuels and gasoline is starting to become the new tobacco. Like, people are becoming aware of the deficiencies behind using it and how it contributes to climate change, and so people are investing more in more renewable sources and cars that use alternative forms of energy. And so people are starting to invest less in fossil fuel cars and invest more in things like Tesla. The de facto administration of Jenny Áñez, who's the lady who is currently acting as the sitting president of Bolivia, she already announced its plan to invite numerous multinationals into the Salar de Uyuni, the vast salt flats in Potosi, which holds the precious soft metal. So previously, before the coup, Evo Morales had protected a lot of the resources by keeping it nationalized so that the people of Bolivia could profit off of it. And we did see a rise in poverty, a decrease in poverty, an increase in literacy, an increase in standard of living. People's standard of living increased under President Morales, right? But then this lady now who's stepping in, she's starting to privatize things. And as the article points out, people are starting to she's inviting people in to invest into resources of Bolivia. And these people are foreigners. They're not there to help the Bolivian people out. They're there to help their corporations. So meanwhile, a letter from the coup regime's foreign minister, Karen Longerek, to Elon Musk, dated March 31st, says, any corporation that you or your company can provide to our country will be gratefully welcomed. So I'll continue on with this article, but where we're at right now with what I've read, I want to hear what your thoughts are.
Go ahead, Brooks. I'll let you start on this one.
Man, I mean, it's just the continuation of some bullshit, of capitalist bullshit. Because like you said, Bolivian people were able to benefit from this nationalization of lithium. The people's lives benefited well, and that shouldn't be like, I guess it shouldn't be ended or whatever it may be just because you want to make some more money off of it from other people. You gotta do what's right for the people in your country, not for somebody else. And it just proves how selfish we can be as a people, I guess. I don't like it. Elon Musk shouldn't. We'll talk about that later, but I think it's just a bad look in general.
Yeah, what do you think, Pedro? Elon Musk said, "We will coup whoever we want. It doesn't matter what the outcomes are, how much human suffrage we will create. We'll coup whoever we want because that's just how the U.S. does it." What do you think?
Well, was he being serious though, or was he joking?
Yeah, people are defending him, saying that it was just a joke, and people are saying that he deleted that tweet because people didn't see that it was a joke. We have friends who really like Elon Musk. Some of them recognize that was a very insensitive thing for him to do, and they are being objective about it and saying, yeah, this is why we shouldn't idolize people. But look, I will say no one's perfect, right? You can admire certain aspects of a person. Like you can admire Elon Musk's vision for wanting to have electric cars instead of fossil fuel cars, but it doesn't mean he's perfect, right, Pedro?
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, the guy is human, right? We shouldn't put anybody on a pedestal unless they're like, damn near perfect, and most people are not that. There's only like a handful of people, like, and that's usually like somebody like an athlete, like a LeBron James or somebody who's clean off the court and stuff like that. But you talk about like a billionaire, capitalist guy like Elon Musk. Of course, he's gonna make some mistakes, and we shouldn't put people like him or Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg. Those kind of people should not be the ones that you look at and you idolize, that you want to base your life off of and stuff like that. It's a slippery slope, putting these guys in like worshiping them pretty much. Elon Musk, for me, is you gotta hold anybody accountable. It doesn't matter who you are. And as far as I think we were talking about earlier, would this affect him at all? Is that what you're asking?
Like, you said that his stocks got affected by it, and I think that it's because investors saw the reaction on Twitter, and so people are fearing, why should I invest in this company if people are not gonna buy his stuff anymore because the guy's an asshole and people know he's an asshole.
But we all know that's just going to be a temporary dip, and as soon as the stock price gets low enough, there's going to be a group of investors go in there and buy a whole bunch of them and jack the price right back up to where it was.
Now, I am going to say like what I think some people who like Elon Musk will say, and about his vision, and that he's trying to do something for the greater good, in investing in lithium as opposed to continuing on with our current system of relying on fossil fuel for energy, for cars. They're going to say, we had to do this in order to get lithium from Bolivia, but that's their resources. We don't have a right to just take it from them without asking, or take it from them by force by installing a coup. It's their property. And they can say, like these defenders of Elon Musk, oh, but how do you know that they didn't try to negotiate and they didn't want to play ball? That still doesn't give us a right to install a coup and install a leader for them that they didn't vote for, right? Like it's their country, it's their election. They get to decide what they want to do with their resources.
It's like you said, anybody that gets to that point and has that kind of money had to fuck over for a lot of people to get there. So this is just perfect for that.
Yep. Just a whole lot of more exploitation by billionaires that is just completely unnecessary.
This whole thing with him on Twitter is like a billionaire. This is what my brother was telling me. It's like a bunch of billionaires hanging out, and he said something that you probably should say in private. A couple of things, including pronouns.
He just had a slip up of what they say, like in private to each other.
Exactly. It's like you're at a frat party, but boom, put it out on Twitter and just let his thoughts be public. Sometimes he lets his social media presence get the best of him, where he's trying to be, you know, like a down to earth, real guy, but ends up being a bit too real and showing who he really is and his thoughts with some of these tweets, especially like these in this latest rant.
And he did respond saying that we get that Tesla gets the majority of their lithium from Australia. But then there was another response that said this doesn't happen overnight. You know, getting the lithium from Bolivia is not just going to happen overnight. It'll happen eventually. And you got to also look at the stock that rose up so quickly right after that coup, right? So it's like the investors knew that we were going to start obtaining lithium from Bolivia.
They always get the inside scoop on these things before everybody else does.
Yeah. And
it head starts.
And I want to share with you guys some, like, an article. I haven't read it in detail, but I guess we can read it together. It's about how Elon Musk rose to power, but just to give you guys a little bit of background, I'm sure, have you guys heard about before about how his parents were South African who were already rich, and pretty much Elon Musk, that was his like shortcut to becoming a billionaire? His parents were already rich. The same is true for like Bezos and Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. Their parents were already wealthy. So this idea that we can pick ourselves from with a bootstrap.
About Jeff Bezos, I think this is one thing I people need to know this. Jeff Bezos actually became extremely successful with Amazon after his wife wrote the business plan. So people need to stop shitting on her for getting so much money in that divorce, because she helped that guy out. It's never just one person. I just want to throw that out there. Please continue.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, this idea that we can all pick ourselves up from our bootstraps and like be like Musk and Bezos and Bill Gates and Zuckerberg, that's such a myth. Like, these people had opportunities that other people didn't have, that other people were not born with.
Yeah.
So let me just share with you guys what I have up here. So this was published on The Intercept, and there's also an interview, like an audio that goes along with it. It's 35 minutes long for the people who are interested. It's called "Is Elon Musk a Fraud?" So the article writes, over the weekend, Tesla CEO Elon Musk took to Twitter to voice his frustration about the ongoing COVID-19 lockdown in Alameda County, California. So this was 2 months ago. This was on May 14th, 2020. The billionaire entrepreneur threatened that he would take his auto factory to another state if it was not allowed to reopen immediately on Monday. He announced that he would be resuming production at the facility in the contravention of the lockdown by Wednesday morning. The county had caved to Musk, announcing that his factory would be allowed to resume production under government supervision. After Musk's initial tweet threatening to leave the state, California Assembly member Lorenza Gonzalez took to Twitter herself, saying succinctly, "Fuck Elon Musk." She added, "So much of the clash our state is experiencing with the tech/Silicon Valley companies is of our own making. We let gig companies violate labor laws for over a decade. We subsidize Tesla as they operate with severe safety issues and actively union busted. They got used to it. It's time that all companies, no matter how cool, abide by the same laws." On this week's podcast, Gonzalez discusses the situation with Musk and Tesla. Then, Tech and Labor reported Jack Crosby joins Mehdi Hassan to give the backstory on the cultish billionaire. So, he sounds like a diva here. What are your thoughts, guys?
Elon Musk is a diva?
Yeah.
I mean,
The union busting?
Most of these guys are.
Yeah.
I won't put it past him being, somewhat of a diva. I mean, but we got to understand why he's being how he's being. We don't always know exactly what's going on through these guys' heads and what exactly they're going through. So I'm not gonna be, like too critical of him here. So
Listen to.
what do you
I would
think?
say
What do you
listen
think
to the.
about that?
I would say listen to the podcast, and then maybe that'll make you understand
Yeah,
that more. But yeah, go ahead, Brooks.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I said I want to listen to the podcast they created before I really do like give a statement. But I know that Silicon Valley and the tech companies can be pretty ridiculous with just how they treat their employees, or like the big corporations. I think they're a little bit more surface level with their kindness, and like they make sure they go out of the way to treat people right. But like the smaller ones, or the ones that they give out their labor to, they're always making them work in just terrible conditions. I was just watching a video a couple weeks ago about this like Facebook security company that they allowed their workers to watch this content, and it would just mess with their mind so much that they ended up getting like PTSD from all these horrible things that they watched. Like one person watched this dude drown his dog, and like he got trauma from that. So that these tech companies will do whatever they can to get away with whatever they want to. So that's not surprising to me. The union busting isn't surprising to me. I think unions need to make a comeback in some type of way to protect the workers, because who else is going to protect them if they can't rely on anybody else?
All right, and then last article here, and then we'll dive into some other stuff here. So this one is it's called The Short But Fascinating History of Tesla. Tesla set out to change the way the world views electric vehicles forever. Tesla Motors has taken the electric vehicle and battery market by storm since its founding in 2003. Under the leadership of Elon Musk, it has diligently followed and completed its so-called secret master plan to change the world forever. Here we explore some of the key milestones in the history of Tesla. We also attempt to answer some of the most commonly asked questions about the company. Alright, so this is talking about why it's named after Nikola Tesla. Not really interested in that right now. How did he start Tesla? In short, he didn't. Tesla was founded by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning in 2003. Elon Musk joined Tesla in 2004, so 1 year after its founding. After investing $6.3 million in Tesla stocks during a Series A round of investment, Musk was appointed to the position of chairman of its board of directors. So he's not even the guy who really found this company. It was these two other guys. And now it's Elon Musk who owns the company. And
I think it's important to mention Elon Musk he founded PayPal and sold PayPal. That's how he ended up having money to invest in Tesla and SpaceX, for those that aren't familiar.
How much did he sell PayPal for? Do you know?
It was 400 million, 500 million.
Wow. I didn't even know that he owned PayPal at one point.
Okay, Eberhard and Tarpenning. So in that article that I just sent, so this is direct quotes from the article. Eberhard and Tarpenning filed a lawsuit in 2009 against Musk and their former company, accusing Musk of forcing them out of the company they had founded. They ended up dropping the lawsuit the same year, but something about that doesn't sit right with the person who sent me that. Probably some kind of bribery behind the scenes. So what do you think of that?
Rich people stuff, buying up. Because Facebook is the same situation. Mark Zuckerberg stole that from two young gentlemen. So it's like it's just a game of who got the most power and money.
Whoever's the most insensitive sociopath. Right, the most insensitive sociopath. That's what we were talking about earlier when we said that you had to have fucked over a lot of people in order to get to the position where you are as a billionaire. And keep effing people over. Right, in order to maintain that wealth. In order for you to have as much power to end world hunger and to solve pretty much all the problems that we have in our country with that kind of money. And you'll still be well off.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's like it's a lot give and take here because they take a lot, but they also give a lot. Like somebody like Elon has given a lot to space research and just overall to the universe. He's given a lot of. I guess you can say, what's the word? He's given us a lot of monumental moments, like the whole reusable rockets coming down and landing in the same spot. He's done some things that NASA couldn't figure out in a long time. What he's been able to do with SpaceX, and Tesla even took over with the whole chargeable car situation. So
But what
he's
is
taken a lot, but he's also gave a lot to the universe.
he's doing that? Is he doing that for himself, or is he doing that to actually help people? Like, does he just want his name attached to all these ideas that he's contributing to? Because like I said, he has enough money to pay his workers fair enough to have a well enough life where they can pay for all their basic needs. Because our country doesn't give us all our basic needs. We don't have free healthcare here. We don't have free public college and a lot of other stuff. The neighborhoods are so unequal and gentrified. So is he?
Yeah, these billionaires, they don't care about real world issues, and about the small real world issues that they can't, like you guys said, put your shoes into. So obviously on that end of the spectrum, on the moral compass is fucked, man. Like he's not going to be, like, I doubt you'll see him at a protest, or I doubt you'll see him doing public speaking about things that don't have to do with Tesla and SpaceX. I mean, that's just how his brain is wired. He's out doing whatever it is that he got to do to progress his own stuff. Is it him doing it for the people or him for himself? Probably both. I mean, a lot of these guys, they're not going to just do it for the people. Obviously, they're doing it mostly for themselves. Whether that's up to each individual to take that.
And I want to say,
choose to.
It is true. Using fossil fuel causes a lot of detrimental effects to our environment, and it's the biggest contributing factor to climate change. But there's also other environmental effects that are happening in other ways, like deforestation, pollution of the oceans and stuff. Like, that's not really climate change. That's more so destruction of the environment. And it is possible to abuse the amount of lithium that we obtain from this earth, and that could have negative effects. So this idea that we're going to completely 100% replace fossil fuels with lithium, well, now we'll just have another environmental problem if we do that, right? It's gotta have to be. There's gonna have to be some balances made. There's solar powered cars too. There's cars that run on water. So if you ask me, I think that we shouldn't go from abusing one source of energy to now abusing another source of energy, right? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Bruce. What you think?
Yeah, I agree, because we're oil and fossil fuels are already a finite resource, so you can bet your ass that lithium will be as well. So there's got to be a different method to finding something that's better renewable and gonna help out the environment. And people are gonna argue up their ass about just how truly bad our environment is right now, but you can't deny the fact that things have gotten worse, and things will continue to get worse if we don't find something else better to do with our energy.
And look, you guys understand what I mean.
You guys already know what it's about.
And you guys already know what I mean by just because we stop fossil fuel emissions, it doesn't mean that we're gonna stop contributing to damaging our environment in other ways, right?
Exactly.
All right, so do you guys have any last words you guys want to say about this? But anything we just discussed about Musk and billionaires and capitalism and imperialism. Oh, I do want to say that lady from Bolivia, who's now the sitting president, she walked in with the Bible, on her first day, into what's equivalent as the White House over there in Bolivia. and she was saying that they're going to get rid of all of the indigenous people. And then there was a lot of right-wing racist Bolivians who were burning the rainbow flag of the indigenous people of Bolivia, and they were attacking a lot of people, like violently attacking people who were under Evo Morales's administration. A lot of his supporters were under attack too, and that's why Evo Morales had to flee the country, because his life and his family's life was in danger. There's a lot of racism, not just in the US, there's a lot of racism in other countries.
Yeah, I mean, to close off the thing, it's sad because, like you mentioned, racism isn't just an American thing, it's a worldwide issue, it's a worldwide health issue, and, to say something like, well, we're going to get rid of the indigenous people, that's terrible and that's sad, that's why even the native people in our country are so fucked the way they are now, because they had land treaties that were basically destroyed, and people didn't raise a fuss about it, and even now people aren't completely aware of it, and we should be. That's a part of our history. And I hope and pray good things for the Bolivian indigenous people, because we talked about it in our previous video with Bones, talking about do you want to protect the land or do you want to invest in like the future of humans? And I feel like there's something that we can do to maintain both. We could have traded with Bolivia for the lithium, and we decided to do something completely drastic and unnecessary and have long-term effects that, as of right now, we don't know. But we can bet that it's going to be a lot of dead bodies around, a lot of basically fuckery that's just going to destroy one group of people for one person.
Yeah, well said.
My last thought that I just want to throw out there is these billionaires usually are not on social media. So whoever in Elon Musk team is responsible for that guy, go find him and take his phone away from him, because there's sometimes it just does not need to be on his foot. Everyone does it to themselves at some point. They shoot themselves in the foot by getting on Twitter, and it has real life consequences. So just be careful what you tweet, guys.
And he also got blocked by his wife, right?
Yeah, man. Nah, that's real life consequences. You got to go home and deal with that shit, man.
He had to sleep in the couch or his second bed of thousands of other beds he owns.
Seriously.
Yeah, he's gonna sleep in the outhouse, the luxury outhouse.
All right, so we can close it off there. So if you want to close it off, Pedro, you can go ahead and do that.
All right, guys, thank you for joining us today. Elon Musk, social media rant. Let us know what you guys think about this. What are your thoughts on Elon Musk and what's going to happen moving forward? If you guys like the content, subscribe. Definitely hit the bell. You don't want to miss any of the latest videos, sports, pop culture, progressive politics. Be part of the Noti gang. Let's talk in the comments. See y'all in the next video. Bye.
Thanks for watching that segment of Hear Me Out. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below so you can get the latest on sports, pop culture, and progressive politics. Stay informed.